Life as an entrepreneur can truly feel overwhelming. You feel pulled in dozens of different directions. You've got 72 hours worth of work you're trying to cram in an 8 to 10 hour workday, and it's just not possible. You've got to relentlessly prioritize. That's why I want to share with you this book by Donald Miller. It's called How to Grow Your Small Business. It's one of my favorite books that I read this last year, and I want to unpack for you some key lessons that I took away from this book and give you an overview of the lessons in the book so you can immediately, right now, today, take action to focus, to create clarity in your business, and to understand what are all the balls that I've got juggled up in the air all at once. Why does it feel overwhelming? Well, it's actually supposed to. Let me encourage you. If you feel overwhelmed as a business owner, that's a good thing, because it means that you have some type of pulse of all the different pieces of your business that you're trying to hold up in the air all at once. A business isn't really meant to be a one-man show because there's all these different aspects to it. And that's the first thing that Donald Miller brings out, is he gives you an analogy for a business. He says a business is like an airplane. I want to show you this model that I have in my office. So what Donald Miller says is a business is like an airplane where the cockpit is your leadership. The right engine is your marketing. The left engine is your sales. The body of the airplane is your operations and overhead. And then the wings are the products, and the fuel tanks are the cash flow. So what you can see through this is, if leadership doesn't do its job, then your airplane is going to crash. You're never going to arrive at your destination. But if you don't have enough thrust in your marketing team or your sales team, you're not going to be able to get enough lift and get up off the ground. If you don't have good enough products that are aligned well for your customers, then you're not going to be able to fly because the wings just aren't big enough. And if your operations is just bloated and huge, that's going to consume all the cash flow of the business. And if you run out of cash, it doesn't matter how great your idea is. It doesn't matter if you were planning on being the next Jeff Bezos or billionaire, you are going to crash. So how do we understand small business as an airplane and take the lessons from Donald Miller's book? Well, there are those 6 key aspects that he reviews, and let's take them one by one. First off, leadership, or the cockpit. The role of a leader is twofold. First, you have to define, where are you going? You have to pick the destination and draw up the flight plan. Secondly, you have to ensure everyone knows how we're going to get where we're trying to go, and their efforts are working towards that goal, right? So Donald Miller starts by saying we should scrap everything we've been taught about vision and mission statements as business owners, and instead approach a mission statement that actually has, this made me laugh, a mission in it. You know, if you want to make a synergistic unity of all the people in the organization that are moving towards the benefit of mankind, that's great, but it doesn't have a mission in it. A mission has to have a defined destination and a point in time in which we're trying to accomplish that. So instead of coming at mission statements from all this philosophical why and all that nonsense, come at it really simply and say, we're going to accomplish X by Y because of Z. So we're going to accomplish a measurable financial outcome, 1 to 3 financial outcomes. That's your X by Y, which is the due date. So that could be next quarter, that could be the end of this year. And then because Z, that's where you mix in because we believe everybody would be benefited by this product, right? So you get your why statement in there, but you keep in front of your team the outcome and the due date for that outcome. Now that's helpful because it gets everybody in line about where we're going, but you have to do more than that. So then Donald Miller talks about why you need to have key characteristics of team members that are going to help you accomplish that goal. So in my case, I run a coaching business. So for my key characteristics for team members, I say we obsess over solving people's problems. We love networking with people, right? So you have to bring people on your team, not just core values, but you go a step further and you say, How do I describe somebody who's going to help me accomplish this goal? If you own a restaurant, you want to have servers that actually like people, right? Because if they like people, they'll have better interactions and better customer service. So those are your key characteristics. We've got your mission statement, which is we'll accomplish X by Y because of Z. You've got your key characteristics, or 3 things that describe team members that will help you accomplish that. And then you have your daily action items. So those are things that almost everybody on the team can do almost every day to move towards that goal. So for me as a coach, what do I want people on my team to do? I want us to network with people, set up meetings with people, have conversations so we can understand what people's problems are and then try to solve them. As a restaurant owner, perhaps you set your goal of selling X amount in desserts by the end of this month. Right? Well, one of the key daily activities that each member of the team can do is offer dessert to every single customer. So you've got to select that. When I go through this with clients, I am constantly talking about and adjusting what are our daily activities to help us reach the goal. Because if you as the business owner are the only one doing those activities, okay. That's a great place to start. Think about a small Cessna airplane. It basically just has a cockpit, wings, and it might not even have a right and left engine. It just has that propeller in the front. So it's a lot simpler when you just start out as a business owner, but this still helps you because you can define what are my daily activities that I need to do in order to determine success. One of my mentors always tells me you've got to be hunting on a daily basis. Even as a coach or consultant, if you've got clients, you can't stop hunting. So you've got to go look and find where are my potential clients, and I got to get in front of them, talk to them, and ensure that I'm speaking their language. And that actually brings us to the right engine, which is marketing. So Donald Miller is really famous for a book called Building a Story Brand. Now, he talks about how with your marketing, don't talk about my product's amazing, I'm amazing, I have all this experience. Nobody cares when you talk about yourself. People want you to talk about their problems and how you're going to help solve for that issue. So you have to talk about them. So that's where he brings in this idea that the customer is the hero of the story. And he walks through a framework for how to tell a compelling story where you set up your business and yourself as the guide to help your customer reach an intended destination or solve problems or pain points they have. And then you invite them into that story. So we switch our marketing from we're this amazing company that's been in business for 30 years and blah, 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 and we make it, have you ever dealt with this issue? If so, we know what that's like, and we've tried this product, and this product makes all the difference, and that's why we're passionate about providing that to you. If you'd like to try it, here's how. He talks about how you need to have a simple, multi-step process, 3 to 4 steps for how you would invite somebody to do business with you. For my business as a coaching business, I just say, we set up a discovery call and we talk about your business. You know, our business is very personal and very person-to-person focused because I believe some of the greatest application and learning takes place face-to-face. Business is a human activity where we're trying to get win-win-win, right, for everybody. Win for the owner, win for the employee, win for the customers. And so we have to focus on actual person-to-person interaction. So for our business, we set up a meeting and we have a conversation one-on-one. Then if it seems like there's a potential where our business could help you, our coaching business could help you, then we set up a follow-up meeting or an onboarding meeting. And if that works, we take payment and we get you started in the coaching process. So it can be really simple for other businesses. Let's say you have an e-commerce business. The process is really go to our website, click the product, purchase the product, and we'll ship it to you, right? That's a simple 3-step process. You don't want to make it hard for people to do business with you. You've got to make it easy. If people have to jump through all of these hoops, I worked for an organization once where we had a 15-step process just for students to apply to be members of that student body. And it was so complicated, we lost a huge percentage of people who were actually interested. We slimmed that process down and made it like a 1 to 2 step process, really, for them to fill out the application and get the process going. The simpler and easier you make it for your customers to start doing business with you, the better. So that's the marketing story, where you set up your business as the guide. And there's a lot of detail to it. It is worth reading the book, and it is worth doing the action guides in the back of the book where you actually fill it out for yourself. And if you do that, then you'll have defined, what is my marketing story? Who are my target customers? What is the problem I'm trying to solve for them? What is the transformation I'm inviting them into? What is the 3 to 4 step plan for them to do business with me? What are the challenges they're going to overcome? What does it look like once they've purchased my product or bought my service? What does success look like? And then what does the outcome look like if they choose not to do business with me and they stay in their current state, right? So if you tell that marketing story on social media, through your paid ads, through flyers, on your website, then you've helped draw customers into a cohesive story of reinforcing you are the right person. You're exactly the person I'm looking for. We're here to help you, and we're here to help you with these challenges. And this is what it's going to look like when you do business with us. You will find your engine is much more successful when it's set up as a story and not just a list of amazing things about you or your company or your product. Because people aren't that interested in whether you're amazing or your product's amazing. They want to know, will you help their life be amazing? That's the right-hand side. And I went into a lot of detail there because the left engine is sales. And sales is very similar to marketing. It's simplified a little bit, but the idea is the salesman is not the expert. The salesman is the guide. The salesman first relates to the customer by confirming they're the exact type of customer we're looking for. They have the problems we can solve. And then you invite a conversation or a dialogue with your potential customer so you confirm what is it they're looking to accomplish, and you know, yes, we can help you. And if you can't help them, tell them that. Say, you shouldn't do business with us. You don't have the things that we help people with, right? And that's one of the things as entrepreneurs when you're first starting out that can be hard. You want to help everybody because you're just not confident enough in your core product or your core offer that you know that you can only help those people, and there's enough of those people out there that your business can fly successfully. You can have enough cash flow. That brings us to products. So those are your right and left wings of the airplane. If your products are amazing, then you don't have to do as much marketing and you don't have to talk people into purchasing them. So your wings are bigger, you have more lift, and you can have smaller engines. If your products are perhaps not as good, then you're going to have to do a lot of marketing just to get them out the door, right? So we want to ensure our products are optimized. And Donald Miller has a framework and a worksheet. That's why I highly recommend you get the book for how to optimize your products. Because that's one of the other issues we as entrepreneurs can face is you can brainstorm 100 products and you want to do 20 of them and you pick 5 to do right now, but you really should focus on one. So how do you know which one is going to be the most effective at helping your customers accomplish the transformation that you're trying to help them accomplish and helping you as a business stay flying? So you got to walk through that. The fifth aspect is your operations and overhead. That's the body of the airplane. Now imagine an airplane with a huge cockpit and small wings, small right and left engine, and a huge body. It is never going to get off the ground. So your operations and overhead are the cost that it takes you to be able to produce those products, market them, and sell them, and deliver them and serve your customers. So that cost cannot balloon so much higher than you need it to. One of the most interesting points that Donald Miller brought out is how it's really powerful actually to start a business with zero funding or very little funding, because often businesses that have huge venture capitalist firms, the overhead of the business will get way too big, way too fast. They won't even have a product out there. They won't even be making money, and yet they'll hire the whole C-suite team. They'll rent out a corporate headquarters. They'll start doing parties every Friday night to celebrate progress they've made. They'll spend all this money on food and other things that just aren't important for the business taking flight. So it can actually be a benefit. If you don't have huge venture capitalists behind you supporting your business, your product, whatever, it can actually be a huge benefit to you because you are forced to keep that overhead clean. The final aspect that Donald Miller gets into is cash flow. And he describes a simple 5-account process for keeping your cash flow going and making sure you have everything you need to provide taxes and pay yourself, and then ultimately have investment holdings for the business. So I want to walk through with you briefly about what those 5 accounts are. So the very first account is your operating account. This is the account where you get paid into and the account where you pay out all of your expenses, including your income. Now, he talks about keeping that operating account at a certain low watermark and high watermark so that you never run out of the cash that you need. You need to have fuel in your tanks if you're going to fly. And then if it gets higher than that certain amount, then that's when you as the business owner start to take payment, and that's where your owner's personal checking account comes into place. So that's the fifth account. So you've got your operating account and you got your owner's checking account. So that's where you pay your salary out of, you pay your other employees' salaries out of. Now, when it gets higher than that high watermark, and he talks about how to determine that high watermark for your business, then you take 50% and you put it into a tax account. You take another 50% and you put it into a business profit account. And what that will allow you to do is, you don't have to pay taxes on all the money that's just a wash. It's canceled out by expenses in your business. So that handles that pretty well for you. And then you're able to take off the top half for taxes, which you'll end up paying less, most likely, in taxes than that, and half for your business profit account. And then finally, when your business profit account reaches past a certain point, it'll go into your investment holding account, where you as a business owner, through the business, start to purchase assets that will make you more money. This is stocks, bonds, real estate, all kinds of things. Maybe you're purchasing other businesses that you can bring into the fold. So it's a really simple process, and he talks about it, but he also references another book that I highly recommend you get that's on my reading list, and Donald Miller explains which book that is, for how to manage your cash flow as a business. But it is a lot simpler than worrying extensively about your profit and loss statements and all those different things, your cash flow statements. I'm not saying you don't need to learn those as a business owner, but it's great to start here with an actual executable action plan. So if you get all those things right, and you have your cockpit, you have leadership clearly defining what you're trying to accomplish and where you're going, you have the right engine of marketing, the left engine of sales, and you frame it as a story that's inviting transformation for your customers, then you have solid wings or products, and you keep your overheads slim enough that you can grow, and your cash flow, and you manage it intentionally so you never run out of fuel. Then what happens is you upgrade your airplane over time. You go from a little Cessna to a Boeing 747, right? You start to flesh out and systematize and professionalize all these different areas of your business. And if you do that, you will be able to grow your business and know what you as the leader need to focus on. So I highly recommend you get this book, How to Grow Your Small Business by Donald Miller. And if you enjoyed this content, subscribe for more.